You're watching Play Replay with Async. On this video, I wanted to kind of give my thoughts on the recent Transformers Rise of the Beast trailer. I know it came out quite a little while ago now, but the movie's coming out, and I just want to give my thoughts on the Transformers movies in general, because I think the Transformer movies have been kind of not really the greatest. So on this video, if you don't like me being negative toward Transformers movies and stuff, then you might want to just click out, because this is not going to be very positive, because I have a lot of issues with it. And it's not because I just want to harp on it and say all kinds of negative things toward the movies, but it's because I'm a huge Transformers fan, actually. And I don't like the idea that the movies are not done very great or done well, but I really just kind of, as a passionate fan, want to see them done right. So this is kind of my rant on what I wish they would do right, so that I would like to see these movies, you know? So let's get right to it. Okay, Rise of the Beasts. The first second of the trailer, you get to see a Transformer transform, and it's supposed to be Mirage. Now, I'm a fan of the Generation 1 Transformers, the Generation 1 cartoon even. I mean, they even killed Optimus Prime and all that stuff. They killed a lot of Transformers. But for me, I just look back at the way they were done. Now, I understand the cartoons were cheesy and they had some issues or whatever. They weren't great. The first story, like, is a 33-parter in the cartoon, and there's some issues with size comparisons and people. There's some weird stuff. So there's issues with the Transformers cartoon. So I'm not saying that the Transformers cartoon is perfect and that's what we're trying to do a copy of, is exact Transformers from that. But on the other hand, the Transformers, when I was growing up, were heroes. Well, the Autobots anyway, were heroes to a lot of kids my age. And when you have a hero like Iron Man, per se, he looks a certain way. Yeah, he has other suits, but they all kind of have that Iron Man flavor, right? You got Captain America. He has a blue suit with the A on his. He has a certain look, right? Well, that's the way the hero looks. Now, he has variations of it, but basically he stays in a certain way because that's how he looks, because that's the way people recognize him as the hero. Now you move over to Batman. Batman has a certain look. He always has the bat suit. It's variations of the suit, but it always looks basically like Batman. It doesn't look like an owl. It doesn't look like a little butterfly. It doesn't look like something, it looks like Batman. Superman, there's variations of the suit, black suit, whatever, but he does look the same. With the S on his chest, he always has a Superman look. So, that being said, when it comes to Transformer movies, why is it that they're allowed to take a character who's blue, who looks a certain way, with maybe a number on the front of the car or whatever, and is a certain kind of race car or whatever, and change him into a car that looks absolutely totally different? And that's perfectly fine for a lot of Transformers movie fans. So that doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, so a lot of Transformer fans will drink the Kool-Aid and be like, oh, this is just a different version. Okay, that's fine. But the character is not even the same. It's different. They change it so it's so different. And the voice may be kind of close on some of these. But, okay, I'll just list it up. I'll just kind of list out the ones I have problems with to kind of keep the video short. Okay, Optimus Prime looks like Optimus Prime in the Bumblebee movies only. so far. Now, in the Rise of the Beasts movie, he does look a lot like the Bumblebee movie one, because this is supposed to take place after that. Okay, enough said. That's Optimus Prime. Now, if you get into the Bayverse movies, which I think the Rise of the Beast movie is going to start to tie in with the Bayverse movies now, because I don't think that they rebooted it with Bumblebee. I honestly think that they just said that to get the people who didn't like the Bayverse to go see the movie. Because in that movie, if you notice, Megatron was not in that movie. Megatron was in Sherman Dam or whatever from the 2007 movie. Still, I guess, in the Bumblebee movie. At least that's the way I understood it. So they couldn't have him. And they didn't have, for some reason, they didn't have Starscream go and fight Bumblebee or whatever, because Starscream would have taken an Earth form that would probably look like the giant Dorito chicken that he looked like in the Bayverse movies. So there you go with that. They did great with the Cybertron scene on the Bumblebee movie, in the Bumblebee movie, but they kept them all looking G1. That's great. But then when they get to Earth, they're going to look totally different. So now, I mean, Bumblebee, of course, why is he always a Camaro? That's Bayverse stuff. That's not the Bumblebee universe that was supposedly rebooted. No, they kept the Bayverse stuff. Now he's a Camaro now. Okay, so then he's going to eventually find himself in a parking lot or in a place where they're selling cars, and then that's how Shia LaBeouf is going to get him, right? So we're still in the same universe, still there. Nothing changed. We're just secretly hiding that to those who, for some reason, drink the Kool-Aid, don't see it. But anyway, the next thing is, I did Bumblebee, Optimus Prime. So yeah, so then Megatron, of course, he's not going to be in this movie. I doubt he's going to be in it. And if they do show him, I bet you he's going to be frozen, and he's going to be in Sherman Dam, or whatever that dam is that whatever dam he was in the Bayverse movies. Because he's still on Earth frozen, and he doesn't get de-thawed until 2007 movie. So, okay, that makes sense. Now that's why you don't see Megatron anywhere. So then we're going to go on and move over to Starscream. Starscream, of course, turns into a Dorito, silver, whatever, goldish silver jet. Looks nothing like the Transformers from the G1, with him. And Megatron, he's just a spike mess in the Bayverse, so he's not really the same either. Then you go to the next one is in the in one of the movies. I can't remember which one it was, but they had Q, a Transformer named Q. This looks like Einstein on crack. Okay, so this character was supposed to be Wheeljack, which is very stupid and strange. Because now in the Rise of the Beast movie, we're not seeing Wheeljack's face as a robot. So that means something's shady's going on there. And then this toy came out. And this toy came out and it looks like crap. It's got giant square glasses, like some kind of a nerd. It doesn't even look like Wheeljack, but this is supposed to be Wheeljack in the Rise of the Beast movie. Now here's another character that doesn't look like the character that they're supposed to be. By the way, they did Wheeljack right in the Bumblebee movie. In the very beginning of the movie, with the War for Cybertron stuff going on, yeah, Wheeljack actually looked like Wheeljack. And then they put out a toy later on, a toy that looked just like that Wheeljack. So that Wheeljack looked very much like the G1 version. See how they're sticking to the G1 version there? And then all of a sudden, abruptly, they're changing him completely now in the Rise of the Beast movie. I bet you it's for comedy. Just like the Michael Bay movies love to use Transformers to make stupid, just basically making mockeries of the Transformer. Because comedy is so important. So anyway, now, and then I'll get to, I guess, Mirage, like I was talking about in the beginning. I went on a rant, though. But Mirage is a silver character. Looks nothing like Mirage from the in robot form. He looks nothing like Mirage from the G1 or anything. So, and I'm sure this is the part where the Kool-Aid drinkers that'll drink anything that Hollywood says is going to say, but he's a different version now. Well, that's funny, because why is Optimus Prime not a different version? He still looks like the Cybertron scene in the Bumblebee movie. He still looks G1. Oh, that's right, because he's a popular character that they're going to make toys of. And the toys won't sell very well if they totally change him to be all blue or yellow or whatever, right? That's why. I mean, Bumblebee, he still at least maintains the yellow and black coloring, right? His face looks totally different. His form is transformed totally different. He's not even a Volkswagen anymore. But at least he maintains color. The same color. That's all he doesn't even talk even, so that's great. So then we get to RC. Now she looks fine. I actually like what they did with. I think that she looks cool in the movie. I'm even fine with her becoming a motorcycle. Somewhat. That motorcycle thing is a little scary though, because in the Bayverse, in Revenge of the Fallen, there was a motorcycle thing that was supposed to be RC and a couple other females. Well, they were just killed immediately in like 2 seconds in the beginning of that movie. So I imagine she lives through this movie, because I think we're still in the Bayverse. And I think she's going to make it well past the next few movies and get into the Bayverse, and she'll die there as a weird looking Transformer motorcycle as a team. I don't know. So, and notice how these Transformers, they seem to get weirder looking as they get closer to the Michael Bay stuff later on. So I'm still waiting to see how they do Ratchet when he just suddenly shows up. Is he going to be yellow and all, totally neon yellow or whatever, because he can't be white and he looked like an ambulance, So here, I'll just sum it up, okay? Here's another one, Soundwave. They did Soundwave, I think it was in the Dark of the Moon movie or whatever, and the Soundwave that they did in that had no blue on him. It's just silver again. Once again, silver. Silver. Why is silver the color that you use? Then they also had Sideswipe. Silver. All silver. Okay. Not red and black. No. Couldn't do that. Soundwave, he's blue, silver, stuff like that. But no, all silver. All silver. And he had no characteristics that are similar to Soundwave, really, other than a bird that comes out of him at some point. This is just ridiculous. This is a mockery of Transformers. So that's why I have such strong feelings about this, because it drives me nuts that they have to change everything so much. And they think that, fans are just going to love this, right? Well, I understand the G1 fans are now getting old, so the younger ones are taking over, and we're not supposed to go to see this now, right? Well, what was the 2007 movie then? Because those movies were farther from the G1 than anything. And those were meant for the fans of G1. They were telling us that that's what they were going to look like Transformers. Just trust me, we're going to change them, but they'll feel like the characters. They always say that. I mean, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just really offended that, like, Mirage, I keep going away from him, but Mirage in this movie is supposed to be like a rebel character, whatever. He's a good guy, but he basically looks just like Jazz. Generation 1 Jazz, except for he's silver instead of white. That's all. That's the only difference. So you could not do Jazz in this movie? Now, if we're going to follow the Bayverse, this is long before the 2007 movie. So this is like in the 90s, this movie. So then you could have a Jazz in this movie, right? He's still alive. He wasn't ripped in half by Megatron in the 2007 movie. So why not have Jazz? Oh, you'd probably change him. You'd probably have him missing teeth. He'd have like big ears, and he'd be like goofy. He'd probably have like a freaking. He'd probably be smoking cigars, or I don't know. He'd have him doing something stupid, because that's what they do with the characters. So that's This is the reason why I'm just not happy with these movies, and I probably won't go to see Rise of the Beasts. And now, getting into the other part of it, the Beasts. I don't have a problem with them doing Beast Wars. I'm a Generation 1 guy, but I do understand the Beast Wars was kind of a cool thing. It's different than Generation 1, but I don't think everything needs to be Generation 1. I'm fine with that. But it is kind of its own Generation 1, because the Beast came from the future into the past, and then they basically run into Optimus Prime before he woke up in 1985 or 84 or whatever. So it's kind of cool that they did that. It's not a bad story. But the Beast in this movie, Optimus Primal, looks like Optimus Primal. I think he's a little dark. I think they should put some blues and some reds and the whites and stuff in there, but he's okay, I guess. And they got Cheetor, looks like Cheetor. I mean, he's whatever a movie version of him anyway. And I'm not complaining, I'm not saying that the toys, because the toys are trying to look somewhat like the movie. And that's how I know that Wheeljack looks like the movie, and he looks horrible as a Wheeljack. So anyway, getting into the Beast though, I think Rhinox, we've seen him for like 1 second in the movie, he turns into a rhino. I imagine he looks like Rhinox though when he transforms. I don't know, you can kind of see him in the blurry battle sequence. But and then you get Airazor. She turns into the bird that she's always turned into. She looks like and then judging from the toy that's trying to copy the movie now, Airazor does kind of look like Airazor. She fits the bill, and she doesn't shock you in some different. She doesn't turn into a little dove or something instead. She actually looks like Airazor. So they did a great job on that, and I don't have a problem with the Beasts. And a lot of people might think that I'm against the Beast because I'm a G1er, right? But no, I don't have a problem with that. I just have a problem is when they change the character look totally, so they're unrecognizable. If you didn't know it was a Transformers movie, you'd be like, what is that? But if you know it's a Transformers movie and they tell you this is who it is, either you're a Kool-Aid drinker and you're like, yep, that's who he is. They just changed him now. So you G1ers, you can't just like this guy, or you can't get mad about this, because this is how they're doing it now. It's different now. I understand there's a difference in Transformers over time, different versions, okay. But you're going to do Beast, you're going to keep Optimus Prime looking G1. Why would you do that unless you want G1 fans? Unless you want to sell lots of toys, because G1 is popular, especially when it comes to Optimus Prime. And if Bumblebee is, if you think you can change a Transformer, then why not make Bumblebee silver, right? I mean, they make Sideswipe silver. Oh, that's right. He's not a popular character. They want to make sure that you recognize Transformers a little bit, enough to get you in a theater. And then once you get in the theater, you realize, oh, Wheeljack's not Wheeljack. You realize Mirage is not Mirage. And you realize that they're not even the same character. So anyway, I think that's about enough. I just wanted to rant, I guess, about these things, because the movie's going to come out, and I just know there's going to be a lot of Kool-Aid drinkers that are just like, yep, I just love it. It's just great, and it might be a good movie. I'm not saying the movie's bad. I'm just saying that they're going away from that Cybertron scene that all the fans pretty much loved in the Bumblebee movie. And now they're getting into, well, you've seen some of these characters in that sequence, but now when they get to Earth, they look absolutely different, except for Bumblebee, except for Optimus Prime, except for RC. Okay, that's weird. It's amazing how they changed a little bit into car forms, not much, and the rest of them all completely look totally different. You can't recognize them. Okay, well, that's kind of sums up everything I wanted to say about it. Sorry if the video is too long. I just kind of had to rant about that, because I'm a huge Transformers fan, and I just want to see a Transformers movie that's just done right. That Cybertron sequence in the Bumblebee movie, that was just great. If we could just get a whole movie of that with Megatron as Megatron in it, and see everything the way it actually should be, that would be great. But they won't be able to do it. They just can't do it. They just have to keep screwing it up. Well, that's about all. Like, share, and subscribe, and thank you for watching.